should or how often should investors be sort of rethinking things during volatile times like these?
So I think investors should always be, on top of their investments and being tactical with their asset allocation. One sector that I believe is a great tool to use to mitigate the impacts of volatility is the healthcare sector. Healthcare has historically exhibited lower volatility of returns at least over the last 10 years. And that can really help stabilize a portfolio with an investment. And it's a very important sector that Canadians are generally underweight. So it represents almost 14% of the S&P 500 right now. That's the second biggest sector weight in the entire index. And it's less than 50 basis points of the TSX. So Canadians are typically underweight this sector. It's a great sector to invest in. It has defensive attributes that I think Canadians are usually underexposed to. So I would recommend considering an investment there.
Interesting in how, that exposure part of it for sure. Okay, so in terms of healthcare, in this particular environment, what would you be looking for within the healthcare sector?
So I would encourage, and you asked the question before about how often we should, be considering volatility. I think that right now it makes a lot of sense to be sort of tactical with your asset allocation and be employ a tactical strategy. And what I mean by that is that when the market has been on, a good run and performed well, like we've seen over the last couple months, I think it's prudent to tilt your portfolio a little bit more defensively and start to, maybe add some of those defensive healthcare stocks. And then if the market does pull back, and I do think that's a possibility over the next few months, it makes sense to maybe add a little bit of risk back into your portfolios and start buying some of the more growthy names that trade at higher valuations. So I do think it's prudent to be tactical with your asset allocation. Right now, I think we're probably towards the upper end of the market's trading range, being at about 4,200 on the S&P 500 today after the close. So, towards the upper end of the range, and I think it is the right time to maybe position a little bit more defensively. Specifically within healthcare, I think that pharmaceuticals are probably the first place you'd want to look just for the stability that those stocks provide.